Hello everyone, it's FoW here with another video for you guys. Now today's video is something I don't really usually do or do a topic about, but today is something I really need to talk about. It's in regards to a couple of days ago or a couple hours ago, depending on when this video goes up, FoW had made a huge announcement in regards to the new Frontier format. Now for those who has been sleeping under a stone or not aware, FoW made an announcement in regards to New Frontier. There will be an updated ban list which will kick in effect on the 23rd of June 2017. And again, if you're not aware what the restriction is, the restriction is will be Horn of the Sacred Beast and Leviathan Demon Soul will be restricted and not be legal for a New Frontier. So the purpose of this video is not the fact that it's a good thing. So I'm going to be talking about what is the issue and why is it a good thing that there's restriction currently at the moment, and the bad thing why there is a restriction. You will see what I mean when you get more along with the video. So let's talk about the two cards. Horn of the Sacred Beast, able to shuffle a player's graveyard. That's the main purpose of it. Now I'll talk more about Sacred Beast later, and let's talk about Leviathan. Leviathan Demon Sword has been an issue since Bahama format, but since Bahama format there wasn't a real issue with Leviathan until Pre-Shear came out. Now Pre-Shear, the true Beastmaster I'm talking about, that is. Now with that in play, Leviathan Demon Sword did so much damage output with the sack fodder and doing a lot of damage, giving the general aggressive play and so on, and has a lot of unique ability to benefit the player. The only time Leviathan the Demon Sword will be terrible is the fact that you open 4 Leviathan in hand, and after Mulligan, and you can't really do much unless you're able to get the OTK off. That's the only purpose of it. That's about it. And yeah, Leviathan Demon Sword quite simple, just creates a lot of OTK plays and so on with Pre-Shear. Now Horn of Sacred Beast, now this might be a bit new for you guys. You'd be like, why Horn of Sacred Beast? Zig the Ancient Magic does the same thing, why isn't that banned in Wonder format or New Frontier? Well, not New Frontier, in Wonder format, and why isn't Horn banned in Wonder format as well? That I have no idea, to be honest. Just be saying, the reason Horn of the Sacred Beast got banned is because before L4 was legal, there's a card called Cheshire Cat Assistant, which allows you to loop the whole deck and obviously finish your opponent off in one turn. The Horn of the Sacred Beast is one of those key component cards to allow you to do that. Here's an example. Now I know a lot of you guys do not play Origin format, but this is a good example how to abuse Horn of the Sacred Beast to your favor. Chronos FDK is one of those examples. Chronos FDK plays very similar to the current FDK that before this ban is kicking effect, which is the finish your opponent on one turn. Obviously the difference is that this FDK is a lot faster, so pretty much you finish the game maybe in 10 minutes. Chronos FDK can juice out that 16-minute play game and so on. That's the only difference. Other than that is same purpose, FDK, reuse the graveyard again and so on. So yeah, that's what most of the purpose of Horn of Sacred Beast does. Just shuffle your opponent's graveyard, shuffle your own graveyard, and reuse those cards once more. So now I already explained what the card does, I already explained what the purpose is for, so let's talk about the goods and the bads with this update or this announcement. So let's start with the good part. The good part is that they are listening to the community, which is great. So meaning that they are aware of the issue and so on, and they're removing the issue, which is another good thing, removing the issue to make the community a bit happier in a way. And the format at least will slow down a little bit because of Pre-Shear OTK turn 2 that is, won't be as much, and removing the FDK as well. Obviously there's no more solitary play. Not only that, this also won't be as dominant as much in top 8 with Pre-Shear. For the last couple of GPs, yes, the last couple of GPs, most of the time Pre-Shear has not won a tournament, but it's still an issue if you see at least 80% of that same exact deck list or similar to it is top 8ing like a lot of GP, whether it's in Malaysia, Australia, America, Italy, UK, whatever it is. There's an issue if you see a lot of those decks with the same exact list or similar to it. So at least that will slow down. Now going from the good part to the bad part of this announcement. So it depends how you look at it this way, but here's the bad thing about it. So the bad thing is that it took them so long to actually to do some kind of restriction. Now, Horn of the Sacred Beast I'll discuss that later, but Later Than the Demon Sword should have been an issue like 3 months ago. The third expansion set came out for Lapis Cluster March, and we're already in June. So that was a 3-month domination of pre-share OTK for that 3 months in all GP and so on. Obviously, if you play locals, you might be playing the gentleman game, saying that we're not be playing any turn 2 kills and so on. Then sure, that's fine. But I'm talking about the high competitive level. So it took them that long to actually restrict Later Than the Demon Sword. Now, it's not a bad thing. It's better late than never. That's what I'm trying to say. But they should have done something the moment they see results from a lot of GP dominating one deck, and a lot of players already got dismotivated with this current format because it's really dull and so on. Another thing is that in regards to the FTK deck I just mentioned, which is Armor Heart FTK, which is this Cheshire Cat Assistant. Now usually how R&D work is that by the time we get the expansion set, like for example the let's say the second L2 set, we got the Legacy Lost set. By then, they already should be designing L4, something on this line. I'm just making this up, but usually by the time we get the cards we want, or the current latest expansion set, Force Will the company itself should already be like 2 or 3 sets up ahead of us when it comes to designing or doing stuff like that. So my main issue is that yes, when they're making expansion sets, they mostly focus on the cluster, which is a terrible thing because the main format is New Frontier, and because of that, there shouldn't be a ban list for New Frontier in the first place because it's a rotation format, and obviously problematic cards will get rotated out. Yes, Alice Cluster was an issue or was a mistake to begin with, but what can you do? It's already been done. But what I'm trying to say is that the fact that they should have at least take in consideration in New Frontier there's cards such as these to make cards currently the latest expansion set cards could be a issue. Example, Cheshire Cat's Assistant, they could have like example delayed that card to the next cluster for like I don't know R1 or even R0 for the starter decks, but they put it in L4 when they are currently legal with the Regalias. That's my main issue. So it shows that the R&D team, they don't really look back at the older cluster and what they can see they do with it. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the thing. They have to, well not they have to, but that's what I'm saying, that's the issue with this restriction list, because they are covering the mistakes, saying that well there won't be an issue now because they're covering it at the moment. Because like I said before, here comes the other issue I'm going to talk about. If the community never mentioned about the FTK, Armor Heart FTK, I'm pretty sure Force Will the company will not do anything, or because they will not realize it. That's from my point of view, at least what I think anyway. Because like they made so much mistake for this, like what, the last 3 years or 4 years? No, not 4 years, 2 years. Sorry, in Alice Cluster format and so on. Alice Cluster set. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to say at the moment. There's a lot more bad than good, and not only that, when they made the announcement of the restriction list or the forbidden or whatever ban list you want to call it, there's no apology to the players, to the community, saying that sorry it took this long to ban Later Than the Demon Sword, or sorry we create a FTK combo that we didn't realize it. At least the company should at least admit they did a mistake. Our R&D team is still learning in the process of like combining with older cards and so on. They should have said something like that. Magic the Gathering is one good example. When Jason the Mind Sculptor first came out, there was an issue with it. A lot of players had been abusing it, and right away it got restricted or banned. I can't remember on top of the line. And Magic the Gathering made an apology statement saying that sorry about this and so on. I'm pretty sure something like that happened. But Force Will itself, on the announcements page, there was no apology. They're saying that there's an updated ban list. That's it. No apology for players. Obviously, a lot of players, the community say that yes, it's banned. No longer need to think about the problem. But because you're the consumer, you should expect an apology from obviously whatever you're buying from, right? Or like the products you're getting from the main company. Obviously, it's not the store owners, but again, it's the company. They should at least done something at least to make an apology to the community saying that sorry about this and so on. But again, there was no apologies, and that was the main issue. So again, there's a lot more bad than good in a way, because yes, banning these cards make the community happy, better format and so on, but again, majority of this bans is that they're covering them up or covering the mistakes up and saying that we didn't have a mistake, we knew about it, so we banned it right away. If they knew there was a mistake, they should have banned these cards a couple months ago before the set came out. But it shows that they don't know about the combos, or the players can loop hop with the, or even exploit the cards. So they need to find a better way. Maybe, I don't know, in the future they might get an opinion from a competitive player or something on this line. But by the looks of things, hopefully in R1, which is the next cluster, it's better without like a lot of loopholes. Because again, from my point of view, Alice cluster by itself created a lot of FTKs and OTKs. Now think about it, Baja Blast, Yigdor OTK/FTK, Appreciate OTK, and then we have Amahab FTK if obviously if no ban was kicked in, and then you might as well throw in Cronus FTK as well. That's 5 FTK/OTK in a resource game. Obviously OTK is possible, but FTK shouldn't be a thing in a resource management game from my point of view at least. So other than that, what do you guys think? Do you think what I'm saying is true? On the bad section is that they're just covering themselves up, they don't really do all these shenanigans and so on. What do you guys think? Leave a comment section down below and let me know. Other than that, thank you for watching, see you guys next time. Peace.